Hi everybody and welcome, this is the Apostate Prophet. I hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk about something that I have been wanting to talk about for quite a while. First of all, I want you to know that I don't care at all about political correctness and all that, and if you have been following me for a while you probably know that. The nature of this channel and what I'm doing consists of criticizing Islam, critically analyzing Islamic beliefs and occasionally ridiculing them, because they were beliefs that I used to believe in and that I now find dangerous and wrong, detrimental to the person who believes and to others. It is inevitable that criticizing Islamic society and Muslim society is part of all that. And I really mean it when I say I do not hate Muslims. And this is not just about Muslims, don't misunderstand me. I don't hate anybody for their feelings or their ideas, their ideologies, their opinions. I do hate the ideas themselves, and I will clearly say that. I hate Islam. I despise it. I think it is a terrible, dangerous, disgusting ideology. I grew up with hate. I was indoctrinated with hate all my life. The word Jew in Turkish Yahudi, or in other Muslim languages Yehudi or Yahudi, still feels very strange to me. Because growing up, that word carried very terrible connotations for me. Because I learned, like many other Muslims from very early childhood, that Jews are bad, Jews are evil. We will eventually fight the Jews and kill the Jews, and even the stones and rocks will help us, and the trees will help us. You can never trust the Jews, they hate us, they conspire with the entire world against us. And I learned all that while never ever meeting a Jew. Now, that is different from my situation with Muslims. I grew up learning that Jews were evil without experiencing anything of that sort, whereas I am now confronted with Muslims every day, and I receive death threats, insults, very terrible accusations. So you could say maybe I have good reasons to hate Muslims, but I don't. Throughout my life, I was part of different beliefs and different worldviews. I grew up in Germany. We moved to Turkey, and I tried to associate with Turkish nationalists, which I really found very unattractive. I was a communist and participated in socialist communist events. I turned toward Islam and became very religious, associated very closely with very religious people. There are so many Muslim apologists that I meet now on my way through my online activism who are very hostile toward me, who hate me, who can never trust me. I can assure you that at least two of those people who have recently interacted with me would be very friendly with me if I was still a Muslim. But now that things are different, they hate me. Many of you who love me and I love you, you would have completely different feelings toward me if we just went back 5 years or, 8 years. I thought it was okay that people could be fought and killed for their disbelief or for their religious beliefs, for what they say and preach and do. Whereas today, I think that that is disgusting and inhuman. At one point, when I was very religious, I had a very close friend that I met up so many times a week. We would spend so much time together. He doesn't talk to me anymore because he's not supposed to talk to me because of my apostasy and my activism against Islam. He's supposed to hate me. But we were very close at some point. We would have such fulfilling conversations. And I can say that from my perspective today, when I look at him now, I see that he had very terrible ideas and terrible beliefs about society, about the world, about Christians, Jews, atheists, apostates, women, homosexuals, about polytheists, and all kinds of other religious beliefs. The issue is I also had such beliefs that I am now completely against, that I now want out of this world. The issue is that this guy that I was so close with, he's not a terrible person. I know him very well. And I know that he's actually a good person. That he would sacrifice so much to go and help somebody that he sees in need. He would share his belongings, sacrifice his time, put the priorities of others above his own priorities. He genuinely wants to do good in the world. But he also believes in terrible things because he thinks that that is the right thing to do. He thinks that that is good because he is blinded by a religious belief, by Islam, by a religious ideology that twists your worldview, that twists the way you think and you look at the world. He is supposed to hate and love for Allah. That is what Islam teaches, that you must hate what Allah hates and love what Allah loves. You're supposed to take that love and that hate as an ideology and abide by that because it is a rule, because the creator of everything demands that from you. And who are you to oppose that? You are just an ignorant human who doesn't know better, even if you feel a different way. I know that that guy doesn't hate people, but I know that his beliefs require him to hate people. I know that I myself didn't hate people. I still loved all the people from different beliefs that I knew, but I knew that my beliefs, which I thought come from the Almighty Allah, who knows much better than me, requires me to love and hate certain people and love and hate certain things. In fact, recently, Mohammed Hijab told me that he hates me. And when I read that, I just laughed to myself. And I didn't respond in kind. I responded with, I understand that. The thing is, I don't hate him back. I don't hate Mohammed Hijab, although I know that he hates me, and although I know that he acts in very shady and very terrible, sneaky ways in order to advance his Islamic religion. Because I know that he does what he does because of Islam. I know that he has to hate me, and he says that he hates me because Islam orders him to hate me. And that on the contrary, he loves other people who are maybe much worse than I am because his religion orders him to love those people and to love what they stand for and who they are. I know that if Mohammed Hijab tomorrow or in a few years stopped believing in Islam, he would probably sit down and have a normal conversation with me, and he would maybe even say, "Hey, I'm sorry for telling you that I hate you." And I would be like, "Yeah, I know. I'm sorry too. But I know exactly why you said that." Most of us are born into a religion. Mostly we don't choose our religions. And if you are born into a religion like Islam, then you are very unfortunate because you are born into a culture, a religion which teaches you to hate, which brings you up with hate and a lot of willful ignorance. That religion also raises you with a lot of restrictions and a lot of fear. In most cases, you don't really have the luxury to question your beliefs. Most people don't question their beliefs. It's simply not something that you do. It goes against your comfort. Even if you and I clearly see that the hate that Islam teaches to a Muslim and that makes the Muslim hate you and me is wrong and that it is extremely problematic and I would even say evil, the Muslim doesn't see it that way because the Muslim was brought up with a different belief, which gives them different definitions of what love and hate and good and evil are. Most of those Muslims who believe in Islam, if they left Islam, would be regular people like you and me. In fact, we see that example in ex-Muslims. Many ex-Muslims, people who have left Islam, become very tolerant people who really want to help, who want to speak out to make the world a better place. That's not because they are a very special kind of people who are exceptionally good, which is why they leave Islam and become different people. No, it's just because they had their standards in a different way. Something went for them a different way, and they found a way out of Islam. And now they don't view the world with Islam anymore, which is why they are now different. They are not naturally different. Things just went differently for them. Maybe if things had gone differently for me before my birth, after my birth, during my life, maybe I would be a very religious Muslim right now. If you are a Christian, if things had gone differently for you, maybe you would be an atheist or even a Muslim right now. If you are a Hindu, if things had gone differently, maybe you would be something else right now. And if you are a religious Muslim, if things had gone differently, maybe you would be in my position right now and you would be doing what I am doing right now. Especially while studying psychology, I learned so much about how our attitudes, our thoughts, and our behavior is influenced by our environment, by where and when we are raised, by the life experiences that we go through, by our parents, and by so many external factors that influence us, which turn us into the people that we are, which can always change, no matter how old you are. While that is the case, how can I hate somebody who is fooled or misguided by beliefs that are simply dangerous, but for which the person who holds those beliefs also to a great extent cannot do much for? How can I hate my parents, who grew up under very different circumstances and who had a very different life experience and who are still very religious people, who judge the world by their religious beliefs, who judge other people, entire groups of people, by their religious beliefs, especially the Jews, which Islam teaches them will be fought in the end. My parents are not like that because they are just such people. My parents are like that because they were born and raised, and they lived under certain circumstances and made certain decisions that were also made under so many factors, influences, circumstances. Even if somebody tells me nowadays that I should be executed because I'm an apostate, because I speak against Islam, I still don't hate that person. Of course, I get angry, I get frustrated. I want to raise my voice and draw attention to this, point out how awful, how ridiculous, how evil that is. But I can't really hate the person because I know exactly why the person says that. Because the person is misguided. And this is not just about Muslims, it's not just about Islam, it's about so many other ideologies, beliefs in your life that form for so many different reasons, many of which are completely out of your control. Sure, I grew up in certain circumstances, I made my decisions, I ended up leaving Islam, ended up being against Islam, ended up being against all kinds of discrimination and killing and all that. But if I look back at my life, I can see so many moments, so many parts in my life from very early childhood that may have influenced the way I thought in the future, that may have influenced the way if things had gone slightly differently, maybe I would be here with a skull cap on and preaching to you about how society must be disciplined by the laws and rules of Allah, the Almighty. I'm glad it didn't go that way because I really like what I'm doing here. This is not to say that we shouldn't feel anything or do anything against such hateful and destructive sentiments. Of course, if you know that someone engages in violent activities, that someone is a potential terrorist, that someone wants to hurt or may hurt a lot of people and society, then of course you should do something about that. If someone wants to take my life and my belongings and attack my family, of course I will do my best to defend myself and to defend others to whom that is happening. That is a completely different issue. And if you feel hate toward someone who hurts you in such a way, or who hurts others in such a way, then that is totally justified, and I can say nothing about that. In fact, I can say nothing about you hating somebody because I don't want to tell anybody what to feel and how to feel. That's some weird thing that we do in modern times where we tell each other what we can and can't feel. I'm not here to tell anybody what to feel. I'm just sharing my perspective. I will always be very strongly against the things that Islam stands for, that Islam creates in society. All the destructive things. I will never ever be against Muslims as a group and as a people, however. Because seriously, nothing good comes out of simply feeding the hate that Islam teaches to people with more hate. As said, I feel very strongly about Islam, and Islam thrives on hate and on conflict and violence. If I want to do something to stop that and to change humans, to change people in a certain way, then the worst thing that I could do is to push back with more hate. It has never worked in the history of humanity. But maybe I can change somebody's mind by sitting down and talking about empathy. Because I changed, and I was changed, with empathy, with introspection, with different perspectives, different cultures. I wasn't changed for the better by people hating me. I want Muslims to change. Muslims are people like you and me, people that I know. I want them to change, to contribute to humanity. I don't want them to suffer or to die, which will only set humanity back, which will set all of us back and people in the future. I would rather want as many people as possible from Islam to come out of there, to be friendly with us, to do something better for humanity, for themselves, for you and me. That is my ideal. Anyway, that's all I want to say. I hope I didn't take too much of your time. I will probably cut this very much. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for watching. Nothing will change. Have a fantastic day and stay away from Islam.